Wouldn't it be amazing to learn 10 times faster and more efficiently than everyone else? Like clapping your hands and suddenly knowing a new language, solving a math problem with ease, or learning a trick to impress the girls in your class? Sounds incredible, right? And it's so much easier than you actually think. Give me just 4 minutes and I'll change your life forever. What do all of these CEOs, celebrities, and founders have that you don't have? You'd probably say multiple Ferraris, millions in their bank account, and houses around the world. But most importantly, they all have mastered the ability to learn. You see, learning isn't just about school, it's the foundation of growth, success, and survival, and can be used to become better than 99% of people. But in order to learn correctly, we first have to learn how to learn and understand why we naturally don't learn effectively. This has two major reasons for it. First, our biology. Our brain isn't naturally optimized for efficient learning because it evolved for survival, not memorizing formulas or languages. The amygdala, our emotion and survival center, focuses on threats more than abstract learning. We still have the same bodies from 20,000 years ago, and back then nobody needed to learn 200 Spanish words in the night before an exam. You see that our brain isn't naturally designed for efficient learning. But the good news is that we can work around this with the right strategies. The first and most important method for learning efficiently is the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. When starting to learn something, we often face a towering mountain of information and work. However, the 80-20 rule, which by the way applies to almost all things, tells us that you only need to learn 20% of the content to master 80% of it. So let's say you learn a new language. To speak the language, you don't have to learn every single word. You only have to learn the 1,000 most used words. Or when preparing for a history test in just 2 days, you don't need to memorize every detail. Focus on the key events, dates, and figures that are most likely to be on the test or that had the greatest impact on history. But this doesn't solve the problem of retaining what you've learned. It only helps filtering out the most important information. All you did was probably consume these information passively, but our brain likes to avoid overloading and forgets information quickly unless they are reinforced. Without review, we forget 50% of new information in a day. And this is also the second reason for why we naturally don't learn efficiently. All of our lives we were taught to learn the wrong way. This is where active recall comes into play. In order to save your knowledge, you have to use it immediately and periodically. For instance, instead of reading a recipe over and over, try to cook the dish from memory. Or don't just watch tutorials on how to play the guitar. Pick it up and try playing the chords yourself. The act of struggling to remember ingredients and steps reinforces learning more than just looking at instructions. Try it out yourself the next time. But sometimes the problem isn't just about learning. It's also about getting started and using your time effectively. Can you remember the last time you spent 2 hours on a task that could have been done in 20 minutes, simply because you kept checking your phone every 5 minutes, thought about what you're going to do next weekend, or daydreamed about your problems? We've all been there. The good news is it's actually quite simple to fix. Our brain tends to be lazy and uses all the time it's given. By setting strict limits, you push it to act faster. For example, the next time you have to learn for a test or have to do a task, set yourself a time limit of 20 minutes in which you have to learn. You will most likely use this time efficiently and save yourself an hour of wasted time. Now I've got one quick extra tip for you that shouldn't be overlooked. If you apply these 3 methods plus the extra tip, you will undoubtedly learn 10 times more efficiently the next time. You have to maintain a balanced diet, stay hydrated, get at least 7 hours of sleep, avoid sugar and stress, stay active, and take regular breaks. Now combine all of these methods and your success is guaranteed. Find the 20% that make up 80% of the use, set yourself time limits of 20 to 30 minutes. Put your phone aside and lastly recall the learned information immediately and periodically. Write down the information you didn't memorize and learn it in the next learning unit. And last but not least, take care of your body and your life will improve like you have never seen before.